Hey, what's up guys, Florence here, and I am playing Rocket League guys, and today I'm gonna try and explain to you why I am using keyboard and mouse instead of controller, and maybe that can actually like make your decision up whether you want to play one of the two. But I think there's a huge difference for me, because I can feel it. I don't know if it's just like in my head, it's probably in my head, but this is a few of the differences I feel when I like play it, because I do play on the PS4 with controller, but when I come to PC I play on the keyboard and mouse. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so number one, I think if you don't have a console background, I think like Rocket League, playing with the controller will be very hard for you, since Rocket League is like a very heavily like mechanical skilled game. And that's why I think why many people like play console instead of keyboard and mouse. But like me, I rather like play with the keyboard and mouse, since I don't have a huge like console background. And I think that can play like a huge role when like deciding if you want to play a keyboard and mouse or a console, because you have to click lots of buttons when you play that console or the controller. Okay guys, so the clip I'm going to show you now is a clip of me trying to aerial with a keyboard and mouse, and a clip of me trying to aerial with a controller, as well as me trying to redirect with both of those things. So I'm just warning you, when I do this with the controller, my brain lags. I don't know what's going on. I can't click as many buttons as I can like on the keyboard and mouse. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you. So now that's out of the way, and I showed you how I'm playing with the controller. I'm sorry for making your eyes bleed if that made your eyes bleed. But one thing I still struggle with like with the controller is that you have to they call it the fat finger. That's one thing I've been struggling with for a while. It's where you like, when I explain this, by the way, I'm gonna explain it with the PlayStation 4 controller and not the Xbox one, just because I'm more familiar with the PS4 controller. So the fat finger is basically when you click like two buttons with your thumb. I think that's what it means. When you click two buttons, for example, the circle and the X button with your thumb, so that will be like, it allows you to like aerial faster. So that's one thing I've been struggling with for a while, and I don't think my brain works with that one. It does not work with that for one bit. Like I'll do it. I'll show you in the video actually. I'll play it now. When I try fat fingering, I'm sorry, my brain just says nope. I'm gonna just drop the controller and then I'm not gonna do anything. But that's one thing I've been struggling with in Rocket League. But on keyboard and mouse, you don't have to fat finger. So what I use basically is a left and right click, and that basically just allows me to aerial instead of clicking like two buttons with your thumb. I'm clicking two buttons with two fingers on the keyboard and mouse, and I think that's a pretty nice advantage for those who don't have a, I guess, console background. So with controller and keyboard and mouse guys, you can change your controller settings, and that's one thing I did with the controller when I was playing on PS4, because it did not feel very comfortable for myself. So I put the left arrow and right arrow on R2 and L2. That is the first thing I actually did, because I just couldn't manage to like do it with something else. So that's the first thing I did. And on keyboard and mouse, I didn't change anything at all. I used the basic settings, and on keyboard and mouse, the left and right arrow is on Q and E. It is very easier for me to like use Q and E on keyboard and mouse, because I use my left hand to like do that, and I don't use both of my hands. So with the aerial thing being said, I think it's much easier for myself to like do it with the keyboard and mouse, because I'm doing it with my left hand only. But when I go to like controller, I have to like manage how to like play with two hands and aerial with both of them. I don't know, my brain just lags when I do this. I think I'm just stupid, like my brain just lags. But that is one more thing that's hard for me to like manage, is to like swap with doing one thing with the keyboard and mouse, and then go to the controller and doing two things. So one thing I've also noticed when playing with the controller instead of the keyboard and mouse is that I don't get the heavy car feeling. I've made a video about the heavy car feeling in the past and got lots of dislikes, and I understand that, and people have been telling that it's only in my head. I understand that as well, but I still feel it. I don't know why I still feel it, but when I'm playing with the controller, I don't feel the heavy car bug anymore. I know it's in my head once again, but I don't feel it when playing with the controller. So that's one nice thing that was happening to me when I was playing on the PS4 with the controller, and it felt very like easy to like just maintain or like control my car. I don't know why, because I'm very used to playing with the keyboard and mouse, and you would expect me to like be more comfortable with the keyboard and mouse, but I felt more comfortable with the controller. But hear me out, I'm not saying that the controller was in general, like overall, more comfortable than the keyboard and mouse. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when I was feeling the heavy car bug on keyboard and mouse and not on the controller, I was like, this could work maybe, but I just couldn't like manage to do everything on controller that I was doing on keyboard and mouse. And obviously in the beginning that's gonna happen, but I was trying this for quite a while on controller and it just didn't work out. So that's why I'm saying that I'm more comfortable on keyboard and mouse overall, and with a few things I think like controller works for me. So there you go, that is my keyboard and mouse and controller story. Hopefully this was maybe interesting to hear my perspective and why I play keyboard and mouse instead of controller. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. This was really something different that I did instead of just like simply playing. I really enjoyed like editing the video and recording it. So I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.